were the visuals from India and Pakistan celebrating its 78th Independence Day. In 1947, independence came at the cost of separation, where previously known British India was divided into two, namely India and Pakistan. On Partition Horrors Remembrance Day, which is observed on the 14th of August, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute and recalled the countless people who are impacted and greatly suffered due to the division. Hello and welcome to Inside South Asia with me, Dasunia Father, coming to you from Colombo, Sri Lanka. Take a look at the highlights of India's 78th Independence Day celebrations that were held at the iconic Red Fort in Delhi, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoisted the Indian flag for the 11th consecutive time.
समय की मांग है कि देश में एक सेकुलर सिविल कोड हो। हमने कम्युनल सिविल कोड में 75 साल बिताए हैं, अब हमें सेक्युलर सिविल कोड की तरफ जाना होगा और तब जाकर के देश में धर्म के आधार पर जो भेदभाव हो रहे हैं, सामान्य नागरिक को जो दूरी महसूस होती है, उससे हमें मुक्ति मिलेगी। बांग्लादेश में जो कुछ भी हुआ है, उसको लेकर पड़ोसी देश के नाते चिंता होना, मैं इसको समझ सकता हूं। मैं आशा करता हूं कि वहां पर हालात जल्द ही सामान्य होंगे। खास करके 140 करोड़ देशवासियों की चिंता कि वहां हिंदू, वहां के अल्पसंख्यक, उस समुदाय की सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित हो। और मैं आज लाल किले से फिर बार एक अपनी पीड़ा व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं। एक समाज के नाते हमें गंभीरता से सोचना होगा कि हमारी माताओं, बहनों, बेटियों के प्रति जो अत्याचार हो रहे हैं, उसके प्रति देश का आक्रोश है, जन सामान्य का आक्रोश है। इस आक्रोश को मैं महसूस कर रहा हूं। इसको देश को, समाज को, हमारी राज्य सरकारों को गंभीरता से लेना होगा। महिलाओं के विरुद्ध अपराधों की जल्द से जल्द जांच हो, राक्षसी कृत्य करने वालों को जल्द से जल्द कड़ी सजा हो, वो समाज में विश्वास पैदा करने के लिए जरूरी है। मैं ये भी बताना चाहूंगा कि जब बलात्कार की या महिलाओं पर अत्याचार की घटनाएं घटती हैं, तो उसकी बहुत चर्चा होती है, बहुत प्रचार होता है, मीडिया में छाया रहता है। लेकिन जब ऐसे राक्षसी मनोवृत्ति व्यक्ति को सजा होती है, तो वो खबरों में कहीं नजर नहीं आती है, कोने में कहीं पड़ा रहता है। अब समय की मांग है कि जिनको सजा होती है उसकी व्यापक चर्चा हो, ताकि ऐसा पाप करने वालों को भी डर पैदा हो कि ये पाप करने की हालत ये होती है कि फांसी पर लटकना पड़ता है। और मुझे लगता है कि ये डर पैदा करना बहुत जरूरी है। साथियों, हिंदुस्तान का सपना है कि 2036 में जो ओलंपिक होगा वो मेरे हिंदुस्तान की धरती पर हो, इसके लिए हम तैयारी कर रहे हैं, उसके लिए हम आगे जाएंगे।
Bangladesh is looking to limp back to normalcy a week after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled the country. But big uncertainties are staring down on the country, chief of them being the need to elect a proper government and also the need to protect the rights of all individuals.
Independence of 2024 is for all. We want justice for the attacks, looting and arson on the Hindu community after the independence. Why did they do this? Isn't this independence for all? Aren't we citizens of this country?
The most direct impact, exodus efforts on the border with India. Thousands turned out at multiple places along the 4,000-kilometer-long border, with India's border security force personnel taking measures to block them. Interim Government Chief Muhammad Yunus's visit to Dhaka's Dhakeshwari Kali Temple on Tuesday was clearly an outreach effort to the Hindu community. Yunus stressed on ending division and discrimination, looking to soothe the anger. Bangladesh's Hindu, Buddhist, Christian Okya Parishad wrote to Yunus seeking protection. There's also the big political rumblings and flux. Sheikh Hasina's arch-opponent, BNP chief Khalida Zia, is out of jail. Zia is known to be anti-India and pro-China. There's a big element of an alleged political witch hunt at work, with a crackdown on officers and partymen of Hasina's Awami League. Hasina's son raises a pitch backing his mother's return. He hits out at Yunus and Zia, saying the voice of the people must be heard.
They just appear to be figureheads. So I think it's in their best interest to hold elections, to prepare for elections as soon as possible, to have a return to a legitimate government that has the legitimacy of the people and true authority. Otherwise, it's just going to devolve into chaos.
The event planned for August 15th on the assassination anniversary of Bangladesh founder Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and Hasina's father was touted as a litmus test to which way the wind was blowing. Far from any solemnity though, it was clashes between Sheikh Hasina's supporters and students that stood out here too. Clearly, the tensions that simmer on. It'll be some time before Bangladesh comes to terms with new realities.
Sri Lanka is a little over 4 weeks away from its presidential election, and new twists and turns can be seen in the island nation. In a new development, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's son, Namal Rajapaksa, has now declared candidacy for the upcoming polls. Take a look at all the developments from Sri Lanka.
The 15th of August, the last day to file nominations for candidates contesting the Sri Lankan presidential elections. Who has the edge? Who will voters choose? Can Ranil Wickremesinghe be re-elected? Or will the split in Rajapaksa's Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna or SLPP stop his reign? 39 candidates will contest the elections. Namal Rajapaksa, the son of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, will be the face of SLPP. The 38-year-old, the youngest to contest Sri Lankan presidential elections, has served as a member of parliament since 2010. He is widely seen as the heir to the Rajapaksa political dynasty. His father, Mahinda Rajapaksa, served as president of Sri Lanka from 2005 to 2015 and is credited with ending the country's decades-long civil war. However, the Rajapaksa family has also faced allegations of human rights abuses and corruption, which led to a decline in their popularity. Namal's candidacy comes just 2 years after his uncle, former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, was forced to flee the country in 2022 amidst widespread protests and an economic crisis that left Sri Lanka in turmoil. Gotabaya's abrupt departure marked a dramatic fall from power for the Rajapaksa family, and Namal now faces the challenge of restoring their reputation and confidence among citizens. That's not the only challenge Rajapaksas are facing. Rajapaksa's once powerful nationalist party, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, appears to have lost its 2019 might, with many MPs now extending their support to President Wickremesinghe. The MPs who defected from the Rajapaksa's party say that the SLPP is now solely focused on protecting the Rajapaksas and stabilizing their power. Rebel leaders from the party have decided to form a new outfit in their bid to support the incumbent President Wickremesinghe. 100 plus SLPP MPs from over 145 elected to parliament in 2020 are now behind the 75-year-old Wickremesinghe. The SLPP has warned of disciplinary action against all party members who would back any candidate other than Namal Rajapaksa. Is this the beginning of a new political war in Sri Lanka? The fate of these leaders will be in the hands of 17 million of the 22 million population on 21st of September.
Three-time Grammy Award winner Ricky Kej has created a unique Guinness World Record for the single largest singing lesson, in line with India's Independence Day, by singing the national anthem that featured 1,400 Indian children. Take a look at these visuals while I see you again next week. For the WION team, I'm Dasania Thada, signing off.
Everybody wants to learn music today.
Hello everyone, I'm Ricky Kej, and here's wishing all the viewers of WION a very happy Independence Day. Last year I made a version of the national anthem, as you know, which was where I conducted a 100-piece British Symphony Orchestra, and it was an amazing experience. I was absolutely thrilled with it, and it was a very successful version of the national anthem. In fact, our Prime Minister of India had also tweeted it. And after that, you know, when I lived with that version of the national anthem after a couple of months, I started to feel that we need to get the soul of India into it a little bit. We need to get a few Indian musicians, and if you're getting any Indian musicians and Indian instruments, then we have to get the absolute best. We cannot compromise on that at all. It has to be the best that India has to offer. That is when I started contacting everybody. I started contacting Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia, Rakesh Chaurasia, Rahul Sharma, Aman and Ayan, you know, and Sheikh Mehboob, and Giridhar Udupa, Jayanti Kumaresh. I contacted all of them and I requested them to be a part of this. And to my astonishment and to my utter luck, all of them agreed. And I brought them into the studio, recorded them. And it was an absolutely amazing experience to actually work with all of these musicians. And then the icing on the cake was the 14,000 children. There's an institute in India called the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. And I visited this institute a couple of times, and I decided that I wanted to take a music lesson with these kids. I wanted to teach these kids music. So we did a music lesson for 14,000 kids that ended up winning a Guinness World Record for the largest music lesson ever in the history of the world.
Beautifully. Now is a moment of truth.
I'm the official adjudicator for Guinness World Records headquartered in London, the largest singing lesson. And what we achieved here today is a phenomenal 13,944 participants in this largest singing lesson.
So the challenges were never with the kids itself. The kids were very disciplined. The kids were amazing, very energetic, extremely enthusiastic, and very fast learners. So what we did was that we built a stage which was in the shape of a cross. And I would walk around that stage so that I would be as close to as many kids as possible, and all those 4 quadrants were pointed at me of the children, so that way that way as many children were facing me as possible. And also the other challenge was, how do we record the children? So we had over 200 microphones, and these 200 state-of-the-art microphones. We converted the entire stadium into pretty much into a recording studio. The national anthem is pretty much ingrained in me, simply because it's the first piece of music that I ever learned how to play on the keyboard. But my father had a small keyboard at home while I was growing up, while I was about 2 years old. And I remember just dabbling on the keyboard and playing a couple of notes, and suddenly, while I'm repeating a few notes, I suddenly realized that this sounds quite similar to the national anthem. And it took me a few days to teach myself how to play the national anthem, and that was the first piece of music that I ever learned. So the national anthem, I would say, is not just ingrained in me, but it's ingrained in every Indian. The first few notes of the national anthem that you listen to, you immediately evoke a sense of pride of our country, you evoke a sense of responsibility and duty towards our country. And that is the beauty of this piece of music. And that's why this piece of music has lived on for so long, and it is dear to everybody, and it is controversy free. So it's just a beautiful piece of music created by Sri Rabindranath Tagore.